Yo, it's been a while I have been here. Actually, a lot has been happening behind the scene, but we're going to talk about that later. In this video, I want to talk about skill monetization, how to monetize any skill you have. Looking at it, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I literally monetize almost all the skills I have. I started as a social media manager, moved into social media marketer and content strategist. Now I am a digital marketer, and I can frankly tell you that all the skills I have that I personally choose to monetize and monetize. Like I place a price tag on them and I get my money. I get my credit alert. And I'm going to be saying something that one of the things that many people have, which you can also be having, is knowing how to convert that skill you have a into a money thing, a source of income. That's the word, a source of income. And skill acquisition is one thing to acquire a skill, it's one thing to learn a skill, it's another thing to turn that thing into a stream of income, something that can bring in money for you. And now in this video, we're going to talk about skill monetization. Skill monetization is the real deal. Like money, getting the skill is one thing. Skill monetization is where the real thing happens. This is where you can now tell yourself that, okay, oh, I have finally started making money from this thing. And many people really struggle in this aspect of converting their skill into a source of income. That's why I usually tell people that skill acquisition is different from skill monetization. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing 5 things I personally do to monetize any skill. Like if I want to monetize a particular skill, let's say for instance, if I want to monetize how to create YouTube videos, I can do that. Yes, I can do that. And I can confidently tell you that I'm going to make money from it. But now I'm going to be giving you 5 things I personally do to monetize my skill. The first thing is I see that skill as a real business. As a business. That's one of the reasons why, I mean, I've done product-based business before, but one of the reasons why I still call myself a business owner is because I am selling something. See, whether you are selling a service, especially you're a service, because if you are a skill person, you are a service provider. You are rendering a service to somebody in exchange of income, right? You need to see what you are doing as a business. And what is basically business? Business is an exchange of value for money. Yes, it's an exchange of value for money. And it could not even be money, it could be like trade by barter, exchange of value for what you actually need. But now, in this aspect, I believe that we want to make money, right? Yes. So, one thing I personally do is I always see my skill as a business. It's a mindset thing. So, you need to see yourself as a business owner. I am selling a business. I am rendering a service and it is a business. It's a real-time business. So when you start seeing it as a real-time business, you start doing things like a business person. There's a way a business person ought to be doing things that you need to start also doing. Now, the second thing I do is I create awareness. I tell people, my community members, friends, family, everyone, I tell them that, oh, I am starting a new business, right? And if you know how I started, I moved from social media manager to a digital marketer. You used to know me as a social media manager. Now, if I tell you today who is Marianne, you won't not tell me a social media manager. You will tell me I am a digital marketer. Why? Because I created awareness. And how do you create awareness? Talk about what you do. Like ring it in people's ear, repeat it over and over again that I am doing this thing. This is what I do. Post it every freaking where people would see it. Like so your social media post, your stories, your status, your feed, your crate, and then you do what? You talk about it, like talk about it. If this is what you are doing, I am a digital marketer. Tell people I am a digital marketer. Tell people this is what I've been doing as a digital marketer. Like bring that idea of digital marketer. People now know that, oh, this girl is now doing this thing as a service. And now when you keep doing that thing, right, you start seeing yourself in that category. People start seeing you in that aspect. So you become something that people now pop up in people's mind that this is what I actually do, or this is what this lady or this guy actually does. Now, the third thing I do is that I talk about it. I talk about it a lot. Like I create different kinds of content about it, right? I create a lot of content. when I want to monetize any skill. If, for instance, now if I want to monetize how to create an offer, I would talk about it a lot. I will talk about the do's and don'ts. I will talk about why you need to come up with an offer. I will talk about the mistakes. I will talk about how to. I will talk about different categories of what it means to create an offer. Once they see me in that area, when they have a problem relating to coming up with an offer, I'm the first person they'll reach out to, because number one, I am showing up on their face, because they also need to know how to show up. I am showing up on their face enough to for them to see me as somebody worth reaching out to, as a solution person for the problem they're having with their offer. So I make sure that I talk about it a lot. I create so much content, like I juice out a lot of content surrounding that thing I am really into. The first thing I do is, especially when it comes to I am doing it for the first time, I work for people for free. Yep, I work for people for free. I will tell you, I want to work for you for free. Sometimes I just volunteer, or maybe if I have a brand that I'm already working with, I just use it to implement, because I am really interested in results. So that result is what I will now start selling to people that will now start giving me the result. But if you are starting out, please stop trying to be really greedy with things, right? Work for people for free in exchange of income. When you work for people for free, people start seeing you in that category, and they want to do what they want to collaborate with you, they want to participate in whatever you are doing, they want to do business with you. Now the last thing I do is I join communities. When I join communities, I don't just stay in that community, especially when really need to monetize a particular skill. I tell people in that skill, this is what I do. And by that time, you need to also be a very prepared person, build a portfolio around it. And that's why I said, working for people for free, you don't even in your portfolio, you don't have to show people the result, just show people the process, right? And but make sure that you are very interested in giving people the result they are looking for. So yeah, so skill monetization is actually very easy, I promise you. It's not as difficult as you think it is. You can convert that thing you have into a business, see the thing as a business, create awareness around it, talk about it a lot, post content, join communities where you are also sharing things to create more awareness. So these are the simple things I do, right? It might look too simple. It might look like, oh, is this just it? Yes, it's just it. When you start executing it, you will see the kind of results that you're bringing out. So I hope with this, you've been able to really, I've given you like a practical things to do. So you can take a pen and ask yourself, what am I going to be doing to monetize? Write down these five things I talked about and work towards it. Make sure you are implementing, because it's not just about knowing it in your head, but also about what about taking the right step, implementing to see the result. So I hope this, as brief as it is, has really helped you. So see you in my next video.